That was the greatest interview I've ever been a part of.
Dude, that was funny.
We got so much out of him.
I have been wondering my entire life. You know how many times I've dialed that phone number?
Now you know
various area codes.
Yo, now we can be the first. Yo, we can be the first to dial it right the fuck now. Quick!
Did he say that Jenny was her real name?
Yes.
Or was it to protect the innocent?
No, that was her real name.
Should I hook my Bluetooth up?
Dude, you call like now, right now.
Wow.
Ray, we cracked the fucking Enigma code in the world. We're gonna try something right now.
See ya.
Wow.
Is someone in the San Jose area code foolish enough to have this number? Let's find out.
Do they let it be had?
They just let it be had? Is it retired?
No,
Is it hanging in the rafters like a
That
championship
that
jersey?
number's like a license plate. One and done.
This is going to be unhinged. 804.
Okay. Let's find out together. 675. Don't even let you do it. Your phone's exploding.
It just blows up.
Right. You're singing it in your head.
This is the fact that this is on my phone right now. It's the craziest thing.
Is it ringing?
It will be.
All right.
Ready?
Are we going to hear it?
Yeah.
Oh,
no fucking way.
The mailbox belonging to 80486753009 is full and cannot accept new messages at this time. Please try again later. Goodbye.
It's alive!
So there is a record being
There
kept.
is a real number!
And there's a record being kept.
And the mailbox has been called so many times it is full.
Oh my God.
As ancient aliens theorize,
Wow.
this proves that there is a Bigfoot. Obviously.
Yo, you know.
Fucking telephone?
Fuck.
Yeah,
Did some
exactly.
announcements for us.
Yeah.
So that's Mike Scott. Mike does MMA and he's in shape. Unlike Vince Neil. The abominable snowman. Makes me want to say
Theater of pancakes.
I went to be a dentist. I want to take his tooth when I see that big fat mug. Do you see that that latest video, Vince Neil?
Oh yeah,
all that
he's
the
bad.
hibbity dibbities. Kiss myself. He's turning fucking James Brown up there, man.
Dude, they're still making I think their minimum is like 150 grand. So I mean, they're still making some money just to perform.
That's
but you got to
bar
remember
mitzvah?
they went from like millions back in the day to performing for 150 grand now. So
Hello, little one. Did you know that Led Zeppelin's Flying Circus is going to be at the Landis Theater?
Did you say Led Zeppelin's Flying Circus is going to be at Landis Theater? It's going to be the greatest show ever. The greatest. It's Spot's birthday, too. He's going to be 695 months old. Wow, what a great day. Landis Theater. Okay, gotta go. Who the hell is
I shall
that?
dance
Mental
and sing,
patient
come
squirrel.
from the land of the ice and snow.
literally, you're sitting in front of the Land of Oz. I see behind you, who's a band that's good friends of ours. All the time.
It's hell here, I tell you.
I bet.
There's all kinds of crap going on. People eating, people drinking, people throwing up. It's a marvelous view.
That sounds like rock and roll, baby.
Yeah, do you know what? Let me tell you, I've thrown up twice this week, which is not like me.
From you're not sick, are you?
No, I don't know. I don't know. It's just when I eat, I kind of get a bit of a bellyache. So I'm obviously I've got a fucking ulcer or something, but I don't know. It's just a lot of travel, a lot of lack of sleep too. You know.
Yeah, that's
probably it.
As long as that voice is still great, right? Because let me tell you, somehow you still sing like you were back in the days, man. Like you were back in the marbles, man.
Yeah.
You still have that voice.
Yes, thank you. Yeah, it's a lot of people ask me, how the hell do you keep that young voice? And I'm just very lucky, because some people are very unlucky because they messed up their bodies with cigarettes and whiskey and wild women and all that stuff.
Yeah.
And I've tried to keep clean as much as I can. And now when I'm singing, I always make sure I take enough breath to make the high notes. You know what I mean? And I never really concentrated on that before. Years ago, I never had to think about it. But now, because I'm a little older, I think, well, how did I used to sing that? And what I do is I listen to my old tracks and I can hear where my voice was. Was it coming from my chest? Was it coming from my bollocks? Or was it coming from my mouth? That's what she said. Yes. but it's a bit of everything. You use your stomach. You know, when you sing it, you wake all over after the show. I can tell you, because it's like what do you call it? Aerobic, not aerobics. Low something aerobics. Because
I
you
know
use
like low impact aerobics. Yeah.
yeah, that's what I was trying to say. Because you use parts of your body you've never used before, as they say on Star Trek, and it's you'd be surprised because when it's done, I find that my shoulders are aching, and the back of my bum aches, and the back of my legs, and well, of course, nothing here, but all the rest of my body because of the muscles you use to force out the damn air. You know.
Absolutely,
That's insane.
yeah.
That's crazy. I got to ask you something, and I got to know this because I heard. Now, this is it true that when you first went to started singing for Rainbow that you thought they were a folk group? Is that the truth?
Yes, it is. I have no, I had no idea what I was letting myself in for. I didn't know. But I thought, well, they're basically a folk group. It's like, rainbow up and down the streets and houses, rainbow flying high, something like that. But because there was a show on British TV that was called Rainbow, and there was that it was a kids show, and that was the song. That's a brief snippet, and that's what I thought of.
Well,
but anyway, I heard later that Richie Blackmore was in the band and Roger Glover, and of course that's Deep Purple. So then I kind of caught on that it's basically Deep Purple with another name.
Yeah, well, look, thank God you came on because to me that's the best Rainbow record out there. So, I mean you made one of the best albums and probably one of the best songs.
Yeah,
absolutely. I mean, Dio had his voice, but I don't know. I'm privy to your voice. I went back and listened to like that original Marbles album you did, and even in the beginning, that Bee Gees song that you did, it was just it sounded so good. It was just like such a great tone to your voice.
Yeah, well, oh god, now it's gone little again. How can I make my pitch? I hate this phone thing. It's better when you're on a computer. Well, when I was 19 years old, that's 1968. Something that I kind of was known for was singing like these high registered songs. I used to love listening to Gene Pitney and Roy Orbison, those kind of people.
Oh yes.
And I was never good at falsetto. I'm terrible at going. That I can't keep it up. That's what she said. And oh my God, this is getting too many of those. But it was something because I was listening to Frankie Valli and all those guys that did the falsetto thing. So I had to sing the high notes with my real voice, and I kind of trained it to be that way. And now, for some reason, my voice is still with me, and my singing voice is still good, and it's just pure luck, I think.
I'll tell you, now, do you? That's what I was going to ask you. Do you do anything to take care of your voice still as you've gotten through the years? Because it still sounds to me as good as it was back then.
Yeah, no, I don't really. I mean, I used to. I used to drink a lot and smoke a lot. No, I used to drink too much. I've gotten rid of that. So that's one thing you should never do is booze. And that was something that, unfortunately, was my poison. And that doesn't do much for your throat, So I stopped doing that. And I used to, I ride my bike. Not recently, but I usually ride a lot. And, go for about 30 miles every day. And just breathe properly when I'm singing.
Amazing. I just wanted to ask you real quick, since Beth is there, what is your connection with her? Now, you guys have a pretty neat connection, and I thought it was really amicable, and I thought it was a wonderful story, and that brought you guys and brought this Grand Bonnet Band together this way.
Well, I mean, the first thing was, I guess, was this: she asked me to come up and sing with her band, Hardly Dangerous. That's where it started, kind of thing. And I did a couple of songs with her band. And after the show was over, I said to her, would you like to do something else? Something more kind of heavy or whatever, more rock. And she said, absolutely. And that's when her and I got together. And there was another thing that brought us together was our sons are both autistic. She has an autistic son and so do I. So we always have somebody to chat about on the phone, which is not like the most wonderful thing to talk about. But we have sons that are very talented in their own way,
Yes.
Autistic, artistic, that's what I hear Bethany say a lot. It's so close to being that word, artistic.
No, I agree with that. Yep.
Yeah. And Levi, her son, is an incredible drummer, and it's amazing how far he's come along after playing for just a few years. He's incredible. And he's playing in clubs already. He's playing the bloody whiskey already. God,
are you kidding me? Wait, what's the band's name?
What's the band's name?
The Tragics.
The Tragics.
The Tragics. What a great name. What a great name. That's awesome. No, see, that's a beautiful thing because you're absolutely right. I believe I think that's a great way to say, the artist and artist kind of come together that way.
Yeah.
And it's nice to have somebody else that understands that you can talk to.
Yeah.
And that's such a great story. I love that.
Yeah, that's exactly. And my son is a great basketball player. So he became now he's like a coach if needed to play basketball. He's 6'4", a bit bigger than me.
Oh, wow.
And he's incredible, but he can't read and write, which is hard for him because of the embarrassment he has with people of his own age. They they make fun of him, and sometimes, but not so much now.
The cruel world you live in, it's unfortunate. Yeah,
but he's older now. He's 40 something now, and so we don't worry about that anymore. He can handle himself. But it's sad how people.
Look, we know you got a show there tonight, and I know you want to go out and see the other guys. And I just want to thank you for coming on. We want to tell everybody you're going to be here in Vineland this Saturday.
That's right.
We're looking forward to it. We got a great local band opening up for you called Breaker. You're going to love them. They're a great rock band. I know I'm excited because I'm a big Alcatraz fan, and I'm waiting. Any thought of bringing Alcatraz back on the road anytime soon?
No.
No? Oh,
no,
man.
Because we're going through a court case with them right now as I talk.
Oh, no.
Because the band obviously is gone now. It doesn't exist. And the manager of them right now, so-called Alcatraz, is singing for the band, which is not a pretty sound. And it just doesn't work. And there's only one guy of the original members of Alcatraz. The only way Alcatraz will come back is with Ingve Malmsteen, me, and different players, a different bass player, a different keyboard player. But it won't come back because they've ruined it. They've killed the name Alcatraz, and it's unfortunate because I formed that band in my garage, however many years ago it was, and it's been besmirched. So you have fans out there like us that listen to the old, and we believe in the original Alcatraz and the band you and Ingve put together, and that's the band we love. So we play some Alcatraz songs, so we're keeping it alive by doing that. Yeah,
nice. Well, look, Graham, I cannot wait to see you, my friend. You have a wonderful show tonight. Safe travels getting here on Saturday, and it's going to be a great show. I promise you that. We're looking forward to it.
Okay, we are too. Thank you.
All right, give Beth our love, and we'll talk to you. We'll see you when you get here.
All righty, buddies. Right,
Take care. Take care, Graham.
Okay, you too. Thank you for everything.
Oh, thank you, brother.
Hi, everyone. Yes, some from Halloween. Boo. And hope you had a great gobble day. Let's get down to business. December 13th. Some say it's a scary day. Not me. So what do you say we head on down to the Landis Theater in Vineland, New Jersey and see Led Zeppelin's Flying Circus. And of course, have the Led Zeppelin experience of a lifetime. So say it once, say it twice, third time's the charm. Landis Theater. Friday,
December 13th. Experience Led Zeppelin's Flying Circus. For this little cute eyeball nerd thing gets new dessert. I've got so much cocaine, I never calm it down. Start a whiskey, make it go okay. Yeah, got this feeling, gonna drive that girl insane.
Hey, can you hear me now?
We got you. You there?
Okay. Yeah. For some reason, it'll allow me to unmute my mic, but it won't allow me to start the camera. So all
You
I
know what? We're okay with that, Pat. That's fine with me, brother.
okay, good.
Yeah,
I'm okay with that too.
yeah, absolutely, man. Hey, I got to ask you, how's the tour
Because I
going?
look like I just stepped out of a dirty clothes hamper here. So
That's okay by me, man. I got to tell. How's the tour going so far, though?
oh, everything's been going great. We've been having wonderful shows. We've been all over the place, out in the Pacific Northwest and Seattle and Portland, and we were down in the Bay Area, and then
Nice.
down in Southern California. We were in Vegas 2 weeks ago, and this past weekend we were in Atlanta and Charlotte, North Carolina, where unfortunately our rented Suburban got broken into and they stole my pedal board.
Oh no.
Yeah.
Oh no. If they only knew.
Mm.
If they knew who it was, they would give it back in a second.
I'm sure. I don't think they had any idea what it was. They probably thought it was because the case, I'm thinking about it, the case could have been some sort of a gun case. It might have looked like that. They
Yeah.
probably thought it was some kind of sniper rifle or something.
Yeah, that's true. That's
But
true. I got to tell
I
you.
needed a new one anyway.
Oh, there you go.
There you go. There's no
Yeah.
better way to get something than to lose something. So.
Yeah, exactly.
But I got to tell you, you know what? It's funny because you said sniper. I got to tell you, Pat. We've had a lot of people on this show over the years. Grammy Award winners, Hall of Famers that have played our stage. But man, I'm a veteran, and guys, excuse me, I get a little choked up. But when I was in the military, man, your album, Crash and Burn, man. I was an Army Ranger, and I saw
wow.
I saw a lot of really bad shit, man. And I used to put that album on, man. I had a little Walkman, a little Sony Walkman. I used to put it on, and when I was sitting on the tarmac, that keyboard would start, it would crash and burn, and it would just sit there, and it would kind of get your adrenaline going and get you thinking and put you in a mood. And whether I was getting on, an aircraft or a helicopter or whatever I was getting on at the time, it went into the next song, and it's funny because I had to listen to it again today. It came in, you say "Rock Me Baby," and then the song starts, and then that's almost like starting the engine. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it really is. It really is. And then you go into Snorting Whiskey, and then and then Born Under a Bad Sign is literally what I used to write that. So that was like we would leave our mark on stuff.
Mm-hmm.
I would put 2112 for Rush, and I would put Born Under a Bad Sign. Like if we destroyed a V or whatever, my mark would be Born Under a Bad Sign.
Were you going in by helicopter or in those big transports or the 17s, the C-17s? Or
a little bit of both. We mostly back then went in C-130s and C-141.
Right, C-130s, yeah.
Yeah. That was. But in that time, it was more. You were going in by Black Hawk or Huey.
Right. Yeah.
But that was Iraq, Iran, and then of course I was in. When I went in, it was under Reagan, and we were doing a lot of stuff down South America,
Central America. Yeah.
Yep.
Grenada.
Yep. Exactly. And that there was two albums I listened to. It was that album, and it was "Shout at the Devil" by Motley Crue.
Oh, cool.
But no, I got to tell you, what made your album best though is it was only 8 songs, and when you flipped the tape over, the first song on the other side was Bob Marley, and it just brought you back to why you're doing what you're doing. I can't explain to you how that.
Isn't that interesting?
Yeah, you could literally flip it when everything was over. And there's it was is this love?
Is this love? Yeah.
And the lyrics just make you realize why you're doing what you're doing as a soldier.
Absolutely.
I can't thank you enough, Pat. This is literally I got tears in my eyes because it brings back like the craziest memories for me.
I can't tell you how much I appreciate your sacrifice and your service And I know what it's like to be away from home and be, without family and be alone and by yourself somewhere. But nobody's ever been shooting at me, So
Yeah, and I was
yeah.
I was a 13 Fox and a 19 Delta, which is a forward observer
Wow.
with sniper. So I was kind of by myself.
Wow.
And
Yeah. Well, then,
and
I know how you must have felt and how listening to certain tunes and music can put you in a more comfortable, familiar sort of mood. You know what I mean? Because you're comfortable. You know what you're about to hear, and what's coming in that regard. Maybe not everything else around you, but that's something you can depend on.
Exactly. And I used to have, I had the first walk. I was telling Steve here, my partner, I had the one where if you push the two buttons, it would fast forward and rewind and stop at the next. It would find the blank space between songs.
Right. Yes. Yeah.
So if it was getting to it, I could just go back a couple songs and I was good. I could just keep on going. Because look, some things lasted 10 minutes, some things lasted 2 hours,
Yeah, absolutely.
But it's one of those things that I would just listen to over and over and over again. And it's funny because I bought the tape in I was in Germany and I was looking for tapes. I'm like, oh man, Snorting Whiskey. That's the song that'd get me going. You know what I mean? That's a song. And then when I started listening to the whole album, and we're talking like 84, so the album had been out for a little while, and everyone knew the whiskey song, and I figured, that's a song that'd get you going. Yeah. But then when I realized how powerful the actual whole, it's almost like an EP. You know?
Absolutely.
That particular album does cover a lot of musical ground.
Yes.
From Snorting Whiskey to Bob Marley to, some pretty incredible instrumental stuff and
the keyboards leading into the album. I mean, and that's you on keyboards, correct?
Yeah, sure is.
Unbelievable, man. You can play the keys and the guitar the way you do. It's just sick, man. It's sick. It's I'm like I said, I gotta thank you. You got me through a lot of bad situations in life, and
I'm glad I was able to help in some small way. Yeah,
you really were, my brother, and I really appreciate it. Like I said, we've had Glenn Hughes on. We've had so many great, and I was a little nervous. Yeah, I love it. I was a little nervous to talk to you, man, because it really brings up like but I'm glad to have you, man, and we're excited to have you here.
Yeah, I'm happy to be on your show. It sounds, like you got a great thing going here, and this is wonderful. Thank you.
Yeah, we got a great theater. We've been working on it for a few years, and we've been bringing in some of the best national acts around. And and you're one of them. And you've had a story career. I mean, you opened for Rush back. You were support for Rush back in the day. For what's funny is Rainbow. You were support for Rainbow. We got a Graham Bonnet coming in soon.
Oh, cool. I never got to meet Graham Bonnet, but I always thought he was an awesome vocalist.
Oh, he's great.
And the only reason Richie kicked him out of Rainbow was because of his haircut.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, stuff like that would just rub Richie the wrong way, and he couldn't get over it.
So that's actually kind of funny. I want to ask you. So like your one live album, the Go For What You Know, that was probably the album that, to me, like when I first ever heard you before I bought Crash and Burn while I was in the military, because I have older brothers and everything. And I remember it being a live album, and at that time, live albums, like that was probably one of the better live albums that ever came out.
Absolutely.
And it was right up there with like Frampton Comes Alive. You had Kiss Alive back then. You had all these live albums coming out at that time in the 70s. We were just talking Fleetwood Mac.
It's a lost art, man. That's a lost art.
Yeah, live albums just aren't what they are anymore. Nobody does them, but you are the king of live albums.
A lot of people, even back then, to a certain extent, like Peter Frampton's double live album, was not that live. Okay, there was a lot of studio overdubs that went on that.
Well,
our live album was live. believe me. I overdubbed one 4 or 5 word vocal harmony because Pat Thrall's mic wasn't working or he was not close enough to it when he sang that part. But that was it. That was the only overdub on the whole thing. Yeah.
Wow. Speaking of another icon, Pat Thrall. I mean, that's like I mean, you've literally played with some of the greats. Now, I did read somewhere that you were inspired back in the day when you were a kid by Jimi Hendrix.
Oh yeah, very, very much so. Yeah.
Did you ever get to meet him?
I was lucky because, at that time it wasn't just Jimi Hendrix. It was Eric Clapton, Jeff Beck, Johnny Winter, B.B. King, Richie Blackmore. It was just so many unique and great guitar players at that covering that one 10-year period there,
Yeah, that's true. That's true. That was that was that time in music that's just timeless.
Mhm.
And you get stuck in
Carlos
it.
Santana.
We were just talking about Santana, actually. Yeah.
Yeah. Mhm.
Yeah, we were Black Magic Woman. We didn't realize that was originally a Fleetwood Mac song.
It sure was Peter Green. Yeah.
Yeah, that's right,
Mhm.
Peter Green. That's correct. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's funny because now did you ever get to meet any of that? Have you ever met or played? Did you get to meet Hendrix at all? I mean, I know you were
I got to see him play
Oh,
when I was 13 years old.
Wow.
At the in Ottawa, Canada, at the Capitol Theatre, March 19th, 1968. I was in the aisle row 12, aisle seat. Was great, fantastic.
See, that's something you don't forget.
It was mind blowing. Let's put it that way.
I
was
can't
only 13.
I can't even imagine. Well, look what it did. It helped spark who you are today.
Oh, I'm sure it had so much impact. He was so just incredibly dynamic and cool. He was the coolest.
Yeah.
Nobody could look cool riding in the back of a pickup truck, but Jimi Hendrix could.
This is true. This is true.
He could.
I can see that. It's funny you say it. I can picture it. I can
Yeah,
literally
and
picture
he'd still anybody else, me, you, we'd look ridiculous. But Hendrix, he cool.
Yeah, he was one of a kind. Like I said, I'm a big fan of that era of music. I love it so much. I was only a year old at the time. I was born in '67, so
okay.
But it was it was a time of music, and it was a time of great music.
Yeah.
And
I've been listening to some songs from his second album, from Axis Bold as Love.
Okay.
They're just incredible. The lyrics and the production was really, really, really advanced. Very, very good.
Yeah,
Good
he's
stuff.
definitely one of those albums you put the headphones on back in the day and you just listen to it. It's just you get taken away,
Uh-huh.
It's kind of like again, like you're crashing burnout. You put the headphones on and you just let you close your eyes, just let that music take you,
Yeah, there's some movement on there in subtle ways that you wouldn't notice unless you had the headphones on, but we did some effects like some stereo tape flanging on the cymbals and things. So when you got the headphones on, they kind of the cymbal wash will sort of move around a little bit, and then of course I have my guitar, my Leslie rotating speaker, and that's moving too.
The Leslie is such a classic.
Arthur Leslie is my favorite thing ever.
Yeah. Oh, true. Yeah. Have you ever played you play your guitar through the Leslie?
Oh yeah. Especially that's on that album. I was doing it live up until recently. Then the Leslie I had it stopped working, so I have to get it repaired. So.
I don't know. Does ours work? We have one here.
Ours does work.
We have one here that works.
They have special ones for guitar now. That are a little smaller and easier to manage. Yeah.
Yeah, ours. We have one of the old school ones here.
Yeah.
Yeah, it actually splits in half. The guy that gave it to us, he used to be in a little touring band, back in college, and he got tired of carrying the thing around. He's like, there's
So he
furniture.
cut it in half.
cut it in half and then wired it up so you
Wow.
can split it, and then put it back together again.
That's smart. Yeah.
Yeah, it works. It's nice. You're welcome to use it, my friend.
It was the
Well,
first
we'll
one I've
see.
ever seen that was like that, and I was like,
Yeah,
wow, this is crazy.
I've never seen. Well, Keith Emerson had something similar.
Yes.
His horns, the top part, was separate from the bottom, and he used 100-watt Marshall heads to run his Leslies.
Oh,
okay.
wow. Okay.
Yeah, yeah. Uh-huh.
Oh, wow.
There's something you don't know.
Yeah. No.
Well, I got to tell you something else I found out about you because I was doing a little research, of course, but you're a black belt?
Yes, sir.
Hell yeah, bro.
Third degree.
Third
Wow.
degree. Now,
Mhm.
for me, like I did a little taekwondo back in the day and stuff. I did it. It helped me.
Okay.
It helped me relieve like anxiety and stuff of that nature.
Well, sure. The training
Yeah.
does that. Just the training, because and going to class is important. If you're serious about it, you need to go to class and you need to train.
Yeah.
And
Are you still active?
Well, it's difficult. Basically, since the pandemic, I lost my the place where I was able to train every day, and we moved a few years ago. So my dojo, my home dojo, is now like 25 miles away. So I can't just go all the time like I used to.
Yeah.
But yeah, I still train, and 20 years. It's Okinawan style. It's called Ishin-ryu, and we also have kabuto, which is the bow staff, and sai, so little weapons.
Yeah. So you don't need any on stage security at all. You're good to go.
It's just
And that
the
Leslie
training.
too. He can split that Leslie,
Yeah,
man. He
there
can
you go.
split it on his own. You don't need you to split it. That is funny. Now, you got any? Are you working on any current albums? Any current?
Yes, we are right now. We should be going in to cut a bunch of drum tracks here in a week or so. I'm going to have, hopefully, Nuno's going to play on a couple of tracks. We
Nice.
saw him about 3 weeks ago in California. He got up and played live with us on 5 or 6 songs. So that's going to be fun.
Now you did an album
Yeah.
back in the day too with Carmine, right? A piece.
Yeah, I've done a couple with Carmine. Yeah. Mhm.
And we've had Carmine here as well. Carmine's played.
He's wonderful.
And his brother played. And his brother.
Yeah,
Vinny
Vinny
is
Vinny-
amazing.
Apathy, as he calls himself.
Yeah. Yeah, and they're both wrong. It's a peach.
A peach.
Yeah, that's how you pronounce it. A peach. But they both say it different. Yeah.
I remember Vinny came with a really nice drum set, and I was admiring it, and I was talking to him about it. And I said, "Yeah, your brother, he borrowed one of mine." He goes, "Yeah, that's because he's cheap."
Well,
And an old Vista.
He said it. I didn't.
That's funny. I wanted to ask you too, because so you're originally from Canada, right?
Yeah.
But then now you ended up going to London, correct?
Yes.
Am I
Yes,
correct
sir.
to get your career
Yeah.
started?
Yeah, I moved to London when I was just turned 21, and I was lucky enough to get a record deal in a few months. And so I started recording and releasing albums and touring. And then in '78, we moved to the U.S. and I've been here ever since. So,
Nice.
yeah.
Well, we're glad to have you. Now, where if you
Well,
don't mind
thank
asking,
you.
where are you living now?
Oh, I've been in Florida pretty much the whole time. And
Yes,
we
that's
live
the place to be.
just outside Orlando on the
Nice.
way to Daytona Beach. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Nice. A
So,
great place for
yeah, it's nice.
a great place for parties, anyway.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh Lord, you guys, excuse me. I'm literally sick here. I'm trying to get over a cold. I got everything is.
Oh,
I'm finally
that's too
past it.
bad. Yeah.
I'm at the end of it, so I'm at a good point here.
Well, good.
So I got to ask you. So you mentioned anybody else on the new album? I'm curious about this new album. I'm excited to hear some new music.
Well, yeah, I've also added a violinist that we have. It's she's a real cool gal, about 29. And she tall, thin, wears great looking glasses and dresses in antique clothes, and is a real rocker. It's so cool. So I'm very excited about that. Yeah,
I love. It's funny because besides Jeff Lynne and ELO, there's not a lot of bands that really.
This isn't going to be ELO. Believe me, this is way more dramatic and aggressive. Yeah. Much different. Yeah.
I can wait. Where are you recording at? Are you recording down in Florida?
Well, this time I think we'll end up recording the drums in one place, and then doing all the overdubs either here at my house with my son at his studio.
Oh, nice.
Or at another friend of mine's studio that I've worked with many times. So, yeah, I think we'll be bouncing around a bit to do this,
Nice.
I got to ask you though. I'm listening to you. You're ready. What keeps you going, man? Like, what keeps you motivated to tour, perform live, and just keep doing what you're doing, brother?
Well, I got practical reasons I have to keep going, but I still don't feel like I've done the album, created that one collection of 8 or 10 songs that everybody goes, oh, like, these days, instead of talking about something I did 40 years ago or 30 years ago. So, yeah, still want to impress.
Well, you created that one album for me. I can tell you that, man. You really did. You got me through some tough times, man. You have no idea. You have no idea.
Wonderful.
No idea. Your rendition of Is This Love, man. I don't know if Steve heard it.
Thank you.
But it is just it literally it takes that adrenaline when you're in a firefight and
I get that because it has that wonderful soft groove.
Yes.
And then I added a young girl on there to sing along, and she just sounds so innocent and the girl next door kind of thing.
Yeah.
So I get that.
It really does. It makes you realize, what you're fighting for, and that it's worth fighting for. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Yeah.
Well, cool.
And it's funny because when I even think about the album, it's like I can smell gunpowder. Mm-hmm. I know it sounds weird, but I get that, that sensation.
Makes sense.
No, they say that sense of smell is one of your strongest memories and can trigger, intense recall of a situation. Yeah.
That's true. That's true. And
hey guys, I'm gonna have to go.
Yes, we're right there.
Mind.
Yep,
absolutely.
Now, am I gonna get to see you guys or what?
Oh yes,
of course.
So I'm the owner of the facility, and then Steve
wonderful.
is my partner basically, and between the two of us, we also do lights and video and everything. So
perfect.
That's awesome. I got out of the Army. That's where I made my money in the film and television world. So
that's so cool.
Yes,
I'll have to. My son Elijah is going to UCF, University of Central Florida, studying film and production right now. Yeah,
I went to NYU. Yes, that's what I went in the military for.
No kidding.
I went in the military for college money, and I went a little gung ho.
Well,
I didn't get to go to college in the 90s.
When we get to meet, I'll talk to you a little bit about that.
Absolutely.
And that would be great.
Well, Pat, I cannot wait to meet you in person, my friend.
All right, guys. Thank you so much for having me.
Thank you for coming on.
I'll see you in a few days.
In a few days. Again, thank you for everything, Pat. Thank you for being there for me so many years ago. I appreciate it.
Okay, brothers. Thank you.
Take care, buddy.
Take care.
Good night.
Good night. That's Pat Travers. Oh, Mark, how you doing, brother?
Good, brother. How are you?
Good, man. Good. I have to tell you, we are not in our studio tonight because the man in the middle is sick, and I don't want to be around him. So.
Oh shit!
Yeah.
Thank you so much for inviting me on your amazing show. I'm so glad to be here, and I'm so sorry to hear that you're ill, man.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Yeah, he's got a little one at home too, man. He's got to get himself better. So.
Oh.
Yeah, I shipped him off to the grandparents so I don't get him sick. So
nice.
Have a snow day with the grandparents.
A little time with the wife. Hopefully, you guys will. Yep.
Oh yes.
That's the way it is.
It's been going around a lot, here in LA too. People have been getting colds and stuff like that. But I know, man. I'm so sorry to hear. But you'll get better.
Yes.
How are you doing out there in LA, man? I mean, it's been hell there, man, with the wildfires and all this.
You see what's up right here, baby. LA strong. Yes, always. I was born and raised here. It's been a little cray. But people are so resilient here. Everybody was. We get a bad rap about my city that I grew up here. I love my city. I love the people in it. It's such a diverse culture. It always has been. But everybody came to, watch each other's back and really stepped up. And the communities were really amazing with a lot of love and a lot of faith, which was really brilliant to see that. And it just, really warmed everybody's heart here in the city, even though the destruction was so catastrophic, to put it mildly.
Oh, man.
I was born and raised in a community called Montebello. And I hail from that city, which is close to Monterey Park and about a stone's throw away from Pasadena and Altadena, where I constantly frequented all the time in my ute. So, and I love those folks up there, man. They took it really hard. So, yes. So thank you for saying that. I really, really appreciate that. Big love to you guys. Thank you.
Yeah. I spent some time in LA. I used to work for Disney and I worked for Nickelodeon. Yeah, for a while. I was a writer.
No, that's so rad.
I tell you, man, it's one of those things where when I got a lot of friends that still live in the area, and when everything was happening, I was just like, I was devastated, man. It's a lot of people displaced from their homes, and it's such a sad thing, after, some of the stuff that happened, with the fires, of course, over in wherever the hell it is over there, Hawaii, and then you go over to Carolinas, and then you have LA. It's like there's so much devastation and so many people just put out. It's like you gotta hope God's got a plan here.
Well, I'll tell you what. Thank you for mentioning the good Lord, because I'm a strong man with my faith. And
amen, brother.
Everybody's got to, we all got to find that faith at some point, man.
That's the truth,
Lord,
man.
I always tell people the Lord is right there for you. All you need to do is ask him to come up on in. That's it.
That's true. That is amen, brother. Amen.
And
I got him around my neck.
I'm sorry to interrupt you, but I just have to tell you something. I believe in, when I was just checking in, that you were saying that you flew Black Hawk helicopters.
Oh, I flew in them. I was an Army Ranger.
Man, thank you for your service, my brother.
Yeah, they kicked me. They kicked my ass out and put me on the ground real quick.
I'll tell you what, though, I love all y'all so hard. We have so many people in the military that come in that have been stalwart Bullet Boys fans for so many years. Our armed forces, our great firefighters, first responders, police officers, you name it. There's big fans of the Bullet Boys, and I always throw out a lot of shout out and just big giant hugs and love for all of them. So thank you.
Well, it's true, man, because I went in the 80s, and I was in for a while, and that was when a lot of this, the hair metal and stuff was big. And it was a big thing because music was a big thing for, and I was telling Pat Travers, Crash and Burn, it was an album. I used to listen to that album, it's motivation,
Yes, radness at its finest, my brothers.
Yeah,
perfect finest. I'm a huge Pat Travers fan. I myself and Lonnie have bumped into him many, many times, and he's always been such a naughty gentleman and such a sweetheart.
He's such a good human being, man, isn't he?
Yes, just a great human.
Yep.
So ridiculously talented. We all grew up seeing him, but even still that he's still doing it right now. I mean, people, y'all got to go out and see PT, man. I love,
man,
it's just out there killing it right now.
Dude,
just like ridiculously.
He put on a show here this weekend, man. And and when he left, he gave me the biggest hug. And he said, he goes, I'm glad I could be there for you. I said, and I told him, I said, sometimes I think if it wasn't for you and Motley Crue's Shout At the Devil album, I might not be here right now because, that was motivation, You used to put that on. And, I was an Army Ranger. We were in the shit all the time,
No, for real. Yeah. Yes, sir. Yeah.
So it was, and I appreciate guys like you because, like I said, you don't understand how, I don't know if people understand it. Maybe that's why, I'm where I am now. Music is so powerful, and it really is. It really is in so many ways, If
I could just, I'm going to jump forward just a bit. It's almost a surreal tragedy. Some of the music that has been coming out as of late. I really think, and with that being said, I'm not trying to say that everything is horrible and bad, but
we agree with you.
There's nothing with light and uplifting and ascension, fun, not taking yourself so fucking serious, all the time.
Yeah.
And I think that's where this little band from LA, like the Bullet Boys,
yeah, baby,
really are like that. We are, I've been doing this for a minute now, y'all. You know that. So
yeah,
it's like the reason why I do it is because of the fans, family, and friends. I don't do it for myself. Ego is not my amigo, my brothers. That's not my thing.
It doesn't seem like that, man. It doesn't. You seem like I'm getting such a great vibe from you, man. I feel like you're that kind of person, man. You're just you're like, you're just a down to earth human being that's thankful for what you got at a life and you continue to give it, Glenn Hughes has become a good friend of ours. He's played here several times.
Amazing.
Glenn's the same way, man. He's just a good human being.
He's a gorgeous human being. I love that man.
Oh, yes. Isn't he amazing, man?
Oh, dude. He's he's known me. We've known each other for a long time since I was really, really young. I used to go see. When I was really young, I used to get into places where I actually shouldn't be in places. And I was always getting thrown out. Fuck off! Get out of here! You're not supposed to be in here. No drinking. I don't drink. I don't care. Get out! It's like, but I was able to hang with some really great, amazing artists that I was very blessed to be around. That I don't talk about very often, but one of them was the great Glenn Hughes.
Yeah.
Especially during the Hughes Thrall days with Pat Thrall and those albums were just epic for me, man. Like Pat Thrall, as we were chatting about PT, him and Pat Thrall, dude, are you kidding me?
Wow. Yeah, they made music like no other, man.
Oh yeah, like ridiculous. But no, Glenn, yes, thank you for bringing up. We've known each other a long time. He's known me since I was a kid.
Yeah, he's been on the show. He's been on the show a few times. Like I said, he's played here, Steve, 4 times now?
Yeah.
It's awesome.
Yeah.
And all congratulations to him in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame and everything.
Oh, I know, man. Well, the voice. I mean, and it's funny because I wish I had the clip to show you, but when he was here, I remember I was backstage because we're normally up front, but when he was here with the Dead Daisies.
Right.
And
yes.
And I'm backstage sitting next to one of the guitar techs and, his monitor world. And he goes off on this like solo like thing. And the monitor guy turns around and he goes, "What the fuck?" And it was just amazing. They're like, dude, he's never done that before. And it was just,
so rad.
Oh, it was so cool, man.
Oh, dude,
we have it on video, luckily. Yeah.
That is
truly the voice of rock and roll, man. Truly the voice of rock and roll.
Oh no, absolutely. Yeah, no question. Absolutely. Let
me ask you, man. Are you guys You guys got anything new coming out? I noticed I was looking to see if you had anything, and you did do a remaster came out of Acid Monkey. Anything new coming out?
Yes, we have a box set that's actually going to drop in March.
Oh, nice.
Cleopatra Records. So they're getting ready to do all the party favors and let everybody know. But yeah, really, really excited about that because it's going to be nice. This is a labor of love for the fans to be able to listen to some of the albums possibly that they haven't listened to, you know, to reinvent it, as they say, and listen to some of the stuff that we did that maybe no one has even heard before. So, you know,
Nice.
all love to Brian and Matt and Freddie and everybody at Cleopatra for seeing a vision of something that could be really really great for all the fans. But on that note, I am slaving away, y'all, on the new album. There's been some twists and turns, and we'll get to that if you want to chat about it a little bit.
Yeah.
About the cats that are in the band and what we're doing. But we're going to be releasing an album, but we're going to be releasing a single first, and we're really quiet about it because all of our heroes from back in the day never really talked about what they were going to release, you know, or there was never
true.
You know, there was never anything like that. So it's nice to have a bit of mystery, just to, you know, in these crazy times, in this day and age of how we're doing this right now, and everything's so just ultra modern, just to take a step back and just, you know, and I go on live and show people a little bit what we're doing in the studio, but I'm really like kind of 5150 about it, the way Ed was, you know, the way they did things and the way we were taught how to do things, the Warner Brothers way or the Motown way or the you know, and I'm not trying to drop names, but I'm trying to make a visualization of this is a complete labor of love, man. The album is sounding amazing.
Look, man, you drop names, baby. You got the names to drop.
No, I just like I just don't want, you know, it's like so weird sometimes. Like, oh, did you hear Torian? He's out there, blah blah blah. It's all about him.
You know what's funny, man, is I would say this to Steve. I remember back in, I guess it was like 87, 88 when that one album came out. It was just the Bullet Boys with the apple and the bullet going through.
Yes.
I remember, everyone was like, "Oh man, you got to see this band, dude! It's like it's like the new Van Halen." Everyone was like, "Dude, this is like the new Van Halen," and it was like you guys were wild on stage, man.
And I quote this on the great master maestro, Mr. Edward Van Halen, who dubbed us. He goes, you know. You guys, you know, they always compare you guys to us, but you know, you guys are more like the evil Van Halen.
Oh, that's awesome, man. The Bizarro Van Halen.
Yeah. Are you kidding me? I love that man, especially his brother Al. I was very privileged that they took me into their world when I was very, very young, when I met them at the Troubadour, when I was playing in my high school band. And I tell the story quite often, but I have to give them respect because if there was no them, there would be no Bullet Boys and probably be not a lot of other bands.
That's the truth. That's the truth. Okay. No, it's the truth. Yep.
So, and a shout out to Alex. I love you with all my heart. Thank you for always being there for us and the band, us crazy, stupid idiots. You know, we're just in the presence of greatness. And thank you for pulling me in as a youngster at about 16 years old to their world. I met Alex and David at the Troubadour on a Sunday night, and we were playing there. Still, like I think I was a junior, probably in high school or whatever, and we shouldn't even been in there, but we got lucky because Doug, who ran the Troubadour at the time, who owned it, he loved the band and he thought we were great, so he gave us the opportunity to do it. Long story short, that one night, there's two guys in the back hooting and hollering. I mean, like going crazy off the side. Fuck yeah! Oh shit! I'm thinking, man, these guys are just catcalling us. We're fucking sucking up the place, right? And the lights are on, so you can't really see in the back bar, right? So we get up and I'm going, wow, man, you know. And we had our friends. There was maybe 25, 40 people. I'm being, you know, it was Sunday night. Long story short, we get ready. We're packing up. Manager comes up to us like, hey, David Roth and Alex are back there and they want you to come and have a drink with them.
Oh, hell yeah.
And I'm like, we're not in the age to drink. He goes, I just said, go over there right now. Right? Hey, you guys, man, my name's David. This is Al. Of course, you know him. And whatever. You guys were great tonight, man. I heard you guys are like from Montebello. He goes, we grew up in Pasadena, man. And,
Yeah, that's right. Yep.
And it's Alex's birthday today. So you want to have a little toast? And that was it.
That's awesome, man.
That was it. Al sat me right down next to him. Goes, come over here. I need to talk to you.
That's awesome.
Al was really hard. That's what I loved about him.
And that's when David was David. He was Diamond David back then, baby.
And David would literally, I mean, these are true stories. This is not no embellishment.
Yeah.
He would pick me up in his Skull and Crossbones Mercedes at my mom's house at about 3 blocks away from where I'm at right now.
That's awesome,
for me to come and hang. We go and hang at the Troubadour, and he would sit there and hold court, y'all. And I got to see that when I was very, very young.
See, that is great, man. Well, see, that's the stories that we love, man. Because, like I said, man, you lived it. Again, you were living. I was on the battlefields, and you were living my fantasy, man. It's like
I was, I was taking the bus or however I had to get from the inner city to Hollywood, but Hollywood to me was more the Troubadour than being on the Sunset Strip. I don't know how to explain that, but it's like I grew up in a real punk rock community here in LA, and I wasn't really accepted in the whole rock and roll thing, the glam thing, and because I don't know, maybe because of my ethnic background or whatever, but it was just a whole different time back then. But the punk rock community took me in with open arms. I one of the first persons that I met on the Sunset Strip, because some guys were jeering at me and stuff, and I'm just some skinny little guy, coming in, whatever, and they were just saying a bunch of shit to me. And this guy comes walking out of nowhere. The true story comes walking there. Hey man, you want to fuck with him? Fuck with me and fuck with this guy. And I turned around and it was Lee Ving from Fear.
Whoa, yeah. Holy
bro.
shit, man.
And I looked at him and I go, oh my gosh. And that was like growing up in this area, that was our guys, thing, dude, Fear, fuck. Just like, whoa. And I got kind of scared, and he looked at me, he goes, come with us, man. You want to hang out with some real fucking cats? Come with us, man.
Nice.
That's crazy, man. We have to be around this same age, man, because Philadelphia was that way, man. Philadelphia was a punk rock town.
Yeah, I got to hang out with Lee and Durf Scratch, and he introduced me to all those cats in the punk rock world, and they really liked me. I felt comfortable there. It's kind of hard to explain, but it's like really.
Were you in any? Did you play in any punk rock bands or anything like that back then? Were you fronting any other bands of that nature?
No, not really, not really. My whole how would you say? My background of music is pretty diverse. I have a big jazz background, R&B background.
Nice.
I think you guys know that. I was signed with. I was very, very blessed to be signed with the great Motown Records.
Yep.
When I was young and did an album with them, and but I do jazz and my hard rock. I was never a real big like metal guy. My metal band was Black Sabbath growing up.
Yes.
Or Priest. That was, Ozzy was like, oh man, Sabbath, and stuff. But I was more of like into punk rock music. My first backyard party I was ever in, and that's why I wear my flag shirt on stage sometimes. It was my first show at a backyard party. I should never have been there. I was like 12 or 13, and my sister's boyfriend he was supposed to be like watching me that night, but he wanted to go see this band, so he took me to go, like, I think it was Monrovia, and the band I was playing in the backyard was Black Flag.
Wow.
Oh, dude, we're literally talking about bringing Black Flag in, believe it or not. They're touring. Yeah.
Please. Yay!
Well, dude, I grew up I grew up outside of Philly, and we had a place called South Street. And in the 80s, South Street was very punk rock. Actually, probably my first concert when I was 12 was Flipper. Saw the Circle Jerks back then, all those bands. I was big into punk rock. My first band was called Gutter Junk. We were a punk rock band.
That's so dope. That's so awesome. I love that. But I still am. So
we were big, man.
I think the whole rock thing and, like having that, punk rock hearts are different than I think rock and roll hearts. I know it's going to sound really, it might sound glib to some people, and they'll be like, oh, Mark doesn't know what he's talking about. But it's it's a feeling. I think the punk rock world is a bit more accepting of everybody.
I agree with that. Oh, without a doubt. Yeah, absolutely.
And I think that so warms my heart. It just, sometimes I see, I'm constantly touring all over the place and of course abroad, and people come up to me and they'll give me some rad, but like a Bad Brain shirt or something. And I'll be just like, oh my gosh. And I'm almost in tears because it means so much to me. They're like, it's just, I don't know. There's just something about it. Of course, I love rock and roll bands and stuff, but there's just something about that community that where I started. So
I'm excited, man. If we can get Black Flag here this year, and we had the Bullet Boys here, we had Pat Travers. This is going to be a good year for our place, man.
No, absolutely, man. And I just getting back to I'm sorry for going off the beaten path.
No, that's okay. Do it, brother.
But the new music is just like, man. I just heard we're working on the single right now because we're working on God willing. We have 4 different people that we're going to be taking it to, and this dude's. It's not like anything that you've heard from a lot of, not putting down anybody, but for any of the rock bands these days, I call it a throwback forward album, which means going back a little bit in time, but bringing it like in a time machine back to right now.
Ooh,
the fun of it, the unabashed. When you listen to somebody and you're married and you go, and the wife goes, you know what? I'm sick of you, Tom, and I'm divorcing you. I'm out of here. Well, what happened? I just listened to the new Bullet Boys single. Fuck you. I'm going to go drink with my girlfriends. Woo!
Yeah. No, dude, I love that. No, but you know what? That's what rock and roll needs, man. You need that.
Listen, we have to get back to the real. I brought Mr. Lonnie. I brought back Mr. Lonnie Vincent. Yay!
I saw that. Yeah. Now is he on this? Tell me about the new album and some of the players that. Now I heard Lonnie's on the new album, right?
Lonnie's on the new album, man.
Yep.
Listen, me and him, we're the founding fathers of the band. We had the mindset when I was driving around in a little green Volkswagen Rabbit, with the bottom of the fucking car practically rusted out of the fucking thing. You could see the road, right? You feeling me, right?
Yeah, baby.
Doing that thing.
His dad lived in a trailer park. We were eating bologna sandwiches, bro. We had nothing. Okay. That's where we started the band. When we were watching MTV, he looked at me, I looked at him, and he looked at me and goes, you can sing better than that. You're better than that. You're better than these guys. And we're going to prove it.
Hell yeah.
Nice.
And I said, what the fuck? He goes, I'm fucking serious, bro. What the fuck are we doing here? This is our time. Let's go get this. Because we were already playing in King Cobra. So Lonnie brought me into King Cobra because the singer went and didn't want to be in the band anymore. And I was telling him, dude, I don't know if I really want to do that because I wasn't a big fan of the band. That wasn't really my thing.
Okay.
But he says, come in and sing, dude, and get paid. And I said, okay, let's go. Let's do it. Carmine's in the band. I said, all right, cool. So we were in that for a while, and I kept on telling him, dude, we got to start a band. I can't be doing this for that long. I love you, and we got to do something else. He goes, no, you're right. So Mick Sueda was ready to leave too. So we were kind of going behind the back and going in this, in and writing these songs and some in Lonnie's mom's garage and Mick's apartment, this tiny apartment, and coming up with these rad, just fucking big tunes, man. We knew that we had something, right? And it was that hunger. Now, let's go to present day. Being back with the founding father, I have this hunger of putting out something that is going to be probably one of our best records since the first record. I believe what we're really trying to achieve is musical, bombastic, fun, rad, just something that people hasn't been heard in a minute, man. It's that time right now, man. It really is.
Yeah.
Now, who's if you don't mind me asking, who's producing? You had, because you had Ted Templeman on your first album. You know, you had the producer of producers back then, you know, influencing some of the hair bands like never before, you know.
Ted Templeman was my Phil Jackson and is my Phil Jackson.
Yes,
I've learned ridiculous. I'm like a sponge. I'm constantly learning. But when I was young, we were very young. I was a complete giant ocean sponge and absorbed all the things. So everything from miking to everything, I have it up in here. So transfer to now, all these years later, I use the same way of recording. The same way.
Nice.
There's a lot of people that use plugins. We're not using plugins. I'm plugging into real amps, real stuff.
Nice.
And no one's doing that. So you get this feeling, and you know, we're doing some stuff to tape. You know, it's just, and it's a bit more difficult, but the finished thing, it sounds just like this thing that we haven't heard in a while.
Yeah.
And you're going
Oh, man.
because everything's like this right now. I'm trying to.
Oh,
get
absolutely.
Yeah. But we're doing this. And when you do this, then it starts sounding like Thriller. You know what I'm saying? Like you're going, like, wait a minute. Is this thing sounding like I think it's sounding?
Yeah, see, that's what music needs, man. You need to go back to that time.
That's why he said, this sounds like Thriller. He goes, we got to get Vincent Price back. I said, dude, he passed away. He goes, oh shit, that's right.
Could you imagine? Yeah, but that debut album of yours, I mean, that went up. That was pretty high on the charts, man. I don't know where it ended up, but you went pretty up there.
We don't have any filter. That's our problem. I think that's why people hate us sometimes. I'll be honest with you. We're not playing with those. Fuck those guys. They can fuck off. We're definitely not playing with them. Mark comes in. You can hear his laugh through the whole arena. Everybody knows it's party time. Because I don't take myself very seriously, you guys. I really don't. It just, I want people to have that feeling of the way it was. You know, but like we talk about.
Yeah.
If we can bring that feeling in a little bit right now, then we're doing our jobs. My job out here is to make people fucking smile, smile, smile to rock and roll. Let's have fun.
Well,
Let's have some fun. Because we're only on
right now
we're only on the planet for about this long. You know
that's true. It's true. You have people right now that are tuning in. They're commenting. We literally get thousands of people a week that watch this show, and a couple of them are they're agreeing with you. Know, the one guy said, Ernest said,
"F that guy. I don't like him." No, it's just
no. Ernest was saying, the originality in new artists nowadays, is despicable. And he's right.
God, man.
I mean, like you said, look at the Super Bowl. It's like
Oh my goodness.
We got to get music back, man. We need that rock and roll. And going back to your roots of recording with Ted and that same feeling, I can't wait to hear this album,
and
man.
That same sound, like we really, when I've done so much writing for this album. It's just I'm completely cuckoo with it. I'm so close to it, but there has to be an album from our genre that people go, these fucking assholes finally did. Yes. I hate these guys, but I like this. But that's what we're trying to bring. We're trying to bring just some, hey man, rock and roll's got to be fun. There's no more Aerosmith. There's no more Van Halen. No. There's no more The Who. There's no more any Led Zeppelin. There's no more the bands. There's our genre, but no one's really trying to do something special. God bless you all, everybody out. I get it. It's not easy, but I don't care when this record comes out, just so long as when I hear it, it sounds like what's in my head. That's all.
Well, I can't wait to hear that, man, because I like what's going on in your head, brother. I can't wait to hear that, man.
We're gonna bring some real from the streets of LA. This album reeks of Los Angeles in a beautiful way, in a Olitas in the summertime smell through the air, type of way. And I think that needs to be shown. The videos are going to be showing a lot of the city, from the beaches to the mountains to the inner city, especially the inner city, because people are very, very resilient. I haven't lived in the inner city, and I moved back to the inner city. My father passed away, may rest in paradise. from COVID 2.5 years ago, and I miss him every single day. My father was an amazing musician. Was a trombonist who played with Frank Sinatra, Stan Kenton's orchestra. Stan Kenton's orchestra. Was a writer.
Wow.
Prolific. He was one of the a big administrator for the LA City School Districts. Walked with Cesar Chavez, Bobby Kennedy. He was a prolific individual, and I moved back to the properties that we had so I can come and help my mother. And I realized coming back to the inner city and seeing the baleta guys that are working with umbrellas and the ice cream trucks and the people are there's so many fans here where I grew up that it's like everywhere I go, they're just so kind and it's thank you for coming back and moving here. I know your mom and I'm sorry your dad passed away. So like it's something that labor of love giving back to this city where I grew up, man. It's like and it's in the music. That's what it is, like I'm going over the song last night and it's almost like a Joe Cuba style Tito Puente Bullet Boys thing called Por Vida. And if this don't make your booties shake and quake, I don't know what the hell. I don't know what the hell I'm gonna do, bro. So, I said it to Lonnie. He goes, "Oh, well, we're working on that right now, right?" I said, "No, we're not." He goes, "Dude, that are you kidding me?" He goes, "Bro, you are him, bro." I said, "Yeah, I'm him. I'm just working really hard. I'm trying to come up with the new, y'all. One of the things that I can say about Kendrick Lamar, I know where music is and I know how rock and roll is supposedly 99, but here's the thing.
Yeah.
It doesn't have to be 99 if you write something and you take the fucking time with it. That's all.
See, the problem though, Mark, is you got artists like him. He wasn't trying to perform. He was trying to, slap somebody in their face to be political, and that's where it gets bad. You give up performing to be political. I agree. And then you take the fun out of it. You take the love out of the music.
Yes. I'm sorry. I'm walking back in right now. It's getting a little chilly outside, but it is beautiful. The thing with me is. Hold on. I'm so sorry.
That's all right, man.
Everybody always asks me, they say, Mark, someone's always trying to bring me into the political fray. And they say, Mark, what's your views on this? And, I chat with people about it because, of course, my family's been in politics and what have you.
Yeah.
But when they really ask me, do you know what I tell them? I tell them this. You know what my politics are? Rock and roll, baby.
Hell yeah, baby.
That's what I'm here to do.
Hell yeah.
I'm here to bring life, love, and fun and naughtiness out there.
Can you just imagine, Mark? Think about this. You ready? It's next year. The Eagles are in the Super Bowl again, and Bullet Boys are the halftime show.
I'm in. Sign me up. but it was really cool. It was really cool seeing Trumpy come in there and into the Super Bowl. I thought that was really
you know what was crazy is who knew he was the first sitting president to go to a Super Bowl? I would have never guessed that.
Blew my mind.
Yeah, me too, man.
I was like, wow, that's intense.
When they cheered him and they booed Taylor Swift, it was the greatest day of my life. So I was good.
Yeah, everybody started getting all happy here too. I was like, oh shit. It's I don't know, man. Sometimes, there's this thing that's happening right now, and I thank God in our country we're actually getting back to a little common sense.
Amen, brother. Amen.
I think it's really needed, and I trust me, I have no political affiliation with any party whatsoever. My party is the good Lord above. That's my party.
Yeah, man. I say it all the time, man. This country needs Jesus, man. Like never before. Amen, like never before. Like never before. It really does, man.
Everybody goes, oh, well, you wrote Smooth Up. How was it that you did? I go, wait, hold on. I did write Smooth Up, and yes, I do that. But listen, we're all sinners. We had to repent.
Yep.
Repent. I'll tell people, and I'll quote Mark Wahlberg: "Stay prayed up out there, y'all." That's it.
Yeah. It's the truth,
And
brother.
try
It
it.
really is, man.
You know,
It really is.
I've been sober for many, many years. And not to toot my own horn, I'm not trying to say that, but when I got sober, I felt like I was really straying away from the Lord. And I'd never been like that. I grew up singing in choirs in church, you know. I wasn't a Jesus freak per se and trying to, you know, beat people with the Bible and stuff like that. I'm very accepting human being to everybody, everybody, whatever sexuality. It doesn't matter to me. It matters the person in the heart that you have. But
we're there with you, man. Yep.
You know, that's where I'm at. And but it would be nice. I think, you know, we grew up saying the Lord's Prayer and saying the Pledge of Allegiance in school. I mean, I'm from the dinosaur days. But it would be nice to maybe see that, you know, now. Maybe you know, maybe it would bring a little bit more I don't know. I think sometimes when you start running and you're running and you're running and everything's great when you're running and there comes a cliff. There's a cliff that comes. And you go, I know the cliff's coming there. I know the cliff's coming there. If you're not prepared with a parachute or something that's going to save you, what's going to happen?
Yeah.
So I feel like that sometimes, like you know, that we all have to help each other. This is a very, very small world. With our country and other countries, everybody's got to come to, you know, sit and have a parlay. Sit at a parlay table and sit down. There's a lot of things that you're not going to like, you know. And
you know what it is, Mark. I'm gonna be honest with you. What it is, you know, I do another podcast too, where I'm a little more political and stuff. But it's one of those things where what happened when you had back in the '60s and they came up with the separation of church and state, which again is not real. That never really happened. That's not in the Constitution in any way. But you lost morals. You know what I mean? When you took anything to do with the Bible or anything like that out of schools, you lost morals. Yes. And if you go back and actually study that, I have this great little book that I read about it, and you go back and study it, and you find out that you know that all of a sudden in the '60s when all that was happening, it all of a sudden, you know, teen pregnancies rose. Things started to rise. All of a sudden, we lost morals. We lost our moral values, and we're not teaching that to kids anymore. And look, in the last 4 years, it got worse than it's ever been. You know,
I believe that we lost our moral compass.
Yes.
Regardless of faith and religion, irregardless of that, there's being a human being.
Yes.
Yeah, and that's
human
gone.
Beings, you have to be try to be the best human being that you possibly can. We're all frail. We're all failures in some part. But communication is a really big thing. And by me getting older, I've learned a lot of things. Listen, when we got signed and I was 21, 22 years old, I was a loose firecracker. I was swinging for the fences like Muhammad Ali. You couldn't tell me jack squat. I was drinking.
I had those days. Yep.
I was drinking like a fish and snorting like you couldn't believe. Anything to just keep on going to be the party. Okay.
Yeah.
So I you know, there's a lot of things that, you know, that I did to myself, but I also came out of it because of my faith. And and that's why I believe that. And I don't really believe, you guys, in organized religion. I think it's a beautiful thing. Everything, whether you're Muslim, Christian, what have you. I think they're beautiful places, but I believe in my heart that He's everywhere, man. Everywhere.
I like that, man. I like that. You couldn't have put it in a better way, Mark. You really couldn't. You couldn't put it in a better way, man.
I think we get caught up in religion, you guys, sometimes, and it's scary. Because I'm not an argumentative. I'm not an argumentative type of individual. I'd much rather resolve the issue than have an argument.
Mm-hmm.
I don't need people to see my side of things because I would much rather see their side of things first. But I think that's just the way I kind of grew up and the way I roll. I've been attacked a lot on social media for what I was in the past. And I think that I hurt people when I was using drugs and drinking. And I think I've have gone and tried to make amends to that many, many years ago. But I think a lot of people still think I'm that type of individual that's very, narcissistic, um, not worried about anybody else's feelings. That encompasses that
Yeah, but
word.
that's Mark. That's the scene you were in, man. I mean, that was the hair
I
metal
never have
scene,
been.
you know.
If I was so that, I wouldn't still be doing this. I'm doing this because I love it. I'm doing this because I love performing. And I'm a performance artist. I'm not just a musical artist. I'm a performing artist. I've always been that way. And there's just more music to be put out there to bring people's spirits to a higher place and to a more fun place. People go, oh, you use that 3-letter word all the time. I say, well, what do you want to do, man? Rock and roll is supposed to be fun. Aerosmith was fun. All these bands that we grew up with, they were all fun. Quiet Riot, the great Kevin Dubrow was one of my mentors. I still love Quiet Riot. I'll pop them on fucking in my truck and shit. It's like, oh shit.
Yeah, we had a Quiet Riot was the band we had here, the first band we had after COVID with Rudy. Rudy's still with them, of course.
Love Rudy.
Yeah,
love Rudy.
But they were
So
and that was for me. It was one of those.
What a gentleman that guy is. I've known him.
Oh, another one, man. Yeah, another one. Yeah, it's true, man.
Such a sweetie.
Yeah, Rudy Sarzo is one of those guys, man. He's just got such a good heart, He really does.
Absolutely. No, he does. So I don't know how much time I have, but I just wanted to tell everybody out there, thank you for tuning in and thank you so much for inviting me. I'm not a big podcast guy because sometimes I don't know. I'm good around hundreds and playing for thousands of people, but sometimes like the inner things, my private life and stuff, I'm not really too good with expanding upon it. I don't know. Maybe maybe I'm just a weirdo, but I don't think think anybody really cares. So.
No, Mark, I'll be honest with you, man. You're very. We've had a lot of people on this show, and you know who? I don't know if Steve agrees, but you remind me of John Karabi.
Yes.
You got to really.
Johnny.
No, John's great, man, and you're just
so real.
You're just a real. That's you, man. You're a real human being, man, and I think you should do more podcasts because I think more people got to realize, how far you've come and the person you are today. We got one guy. I got to tell you this real quick. We got one guy, and he commented and he said, in 2018, you canceled an hour before a show. And he said he traveled far, he took off from work, and he's all pissed off about it still today. He's been pissed since 2018. But you know what? When people get to know you and get to see who you are as a human being, we all got to be forgiving, And Brian, if you're tuned in, man, you come out to the Landis. Your tickets on me. Your tickets on me. Come see Mark and enjoy the show, man. You don't have to worry about paying, brother.
It's so ironic. There's other artists that cancel all the time, but something that happened in 2018, I could have been sick. I wasn't really using then at all. So it's not something like I wanted to just. I'm not a dude. Please, and anybody out there that's watching, I am not a diva. Ego is not my amigo.
Oh, I can tell. I can tell.
People that I've got, I purposely thank everybody in every venue that we play, down to the popcorn guy and gal. I've always been, because I'm very grateful that I'm even playing in the fucking place. Mm-hmm. Okay, so if I try to do everything I possibly can. We are not an elitist band that has a lot of people working for us. There's 4 guys. We go out on the road. We kick ass. We do our thing. There's no road managers. There's no techs. There's none of that. We go full punk rock style. So
that's awesome.
Sometimes people people get tired, but I really try really hard to always be very ingratiated and very loving to everybody that I meet. And in life things happen. So I don't know what the circumstances were, but we're going to be coming We're coming out.
Yes, and I'm inviting the guy because, like I said, he commented on our Facebook page, the same comment, and he's tuned in now. So, and look, you know what? All I can tell you, Mark, is that's somebody who apparently really wanted to fucking see you, man, and that's somebody who really wanted to see you, man. So that's a good thing. That's a good thing. Well, look, man, we're gonna bug out. We are starting WMMR in Philadelphia, 93.3. We have partnered with them, and we're doing local shots live here on Thursdays. And we got one of those bands coming up after you here, and we're gonna bring them on real quick. But Mark, look, man, I can't wait to meet you in person, brother.
Oh, me
I really
too,
can't, man.
Man, you guys have been so rad. Thank you for having me. I'm sorry if I got a little bit too wordy and.
No, man, no, you did not, brother. As a matter of fact, that's what we love, man. We love. That's why I said you're very John Corabi, man. I just to tell you how good that is. John Corabi is now a ringtone on my phone because I had to take part of the interview and made it into a ringtone. He's hilarious, man.
Listen, just a shout out real quick, if I can give a couple shout outs.
Go for it.
I want to shout out to my brother Lonnie Vincent. I love you. Freddie, I love you. Jake, I love you. I haven't even been able to talk about Freddie or Jake real quick. Fred's one of the greatest drummer I've worked with. He's the biggest heart, has the biggest heart as a musician, amazing individual. His story coming from Peru to being here in the United States is like a movie. It's ridiculous. Jake Fawn, he's such a beautiful man and such a heart, and is a true savant musician, and will give the shirt off his back. And I love people with that kind of heart, that they're not in it to be this, rock star thing. And I hate that whole terminology, but he's in it to really win it, to show his musical prowess. He's very grateful, very humble, and a lot of fun to be around. So I want to send out a shout out to the guys. I love you guys so dearly. And to all the fans that have been around, all the people that have been spreading a lot of love and everything. Thank you so much. And really thank you also to the haters, because it really makes me keep punching, man. Really
Hell yeah, brother.
Keep on doing what I'm trying to do, and, live your dreams out there, baby, because, we don't have that much time around it these days. Who knows what's going to happen, So
that's true, man.
And be looking forward to a new album. God willing, we're dropping it this year for sure.
Well, look, brother, we are going to see you Saturday night live here at the Landis Theater, baby. Bullet Boys, February 15th. Show starts at 8 p.m. Doors open at 7. Dude, I can't even tell you, brother. We are looking so forward to this show, man. All I can tell you is, look, safe travels getting here. God bless you, brother. And
thank you so much. God bless y'all too, man.
Absolutely, brother. We will see you on Saturday, baby.
We're getting ready to get this party started. Get your drinking stomachs ready. Make sure
baby.
Make sure you're not driving, though. Get your Uber and Lyft.
Yes.
Hell yeah.
Because when the Bullet Boys come rolling into town, you never know what the hell's going to go down. You know that.
Yeah, well, you're going to have fun here. We have a little bit of a different place, man. We have probably some of the best sound in the area. And we have we're like the mini sphere. We have like a surround video. It's pretty cool, man. You're gonna have a good time, brother.
I'm so looking forward to it, and it's been a minute, y'all. So I'm really looking forward to it. I love all y'all. And last thing, one more shout out. I haven't seen him in a minute, but if you could please get my brother, the great Jesse Hughes from the Eagles of Death Metal, on your show.
I would love that, man. Love that.
Man, I love him. He's a true patriot, and he would be fascinated with him on the show. I love to Jesse. I love you.
Thank you, Mark. Hey, safe travels, brother.
Okay, bye, you guys. Thank you for having me. Stay blessed.
God bless,
out there,
brother.
man.
You
Love
too,
y'all.
brother. You too.
Take care.
Take care.
I paid for them headshots. I'm using them. Come on, man.
When he's
I paid
100
for my knees. I
He's
use them
108.
every day.
He'll still have that headshot going. Let's welcome the one and only Jimmy Graham.
What's up, Pete?
Jimmy Graham. Jimmy, I have loved you for so many years, my brother.
I love you too, buddy.
And we have worked together from NBC pilots to stand-up shows, you name it, man. We have done it, brother.
We had an adventure in South Jersey.
We've had adventures. We've had some adventures, man, in our times together, man.
Absolutely.
How is your daughter? Is she still working with the fitness place there?
Yes, Chelsea now is. She's like one of two major. She's the top two managers
For Planet
in,
Fitness.
Planet Fitness.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, she's South Jersey.
She used to work in one of my coffee shops back in the day. Yes, yes,
She
yes.
has
Yeah.
I got a grandson. I babysat
Yeah.
him today, little Owen. Yeah, he's 19 months, and she's
19
due
months.
again in August.
She's got another one coming. So she's doing a lot of working out.
Yeah, man. Well, she's with my quarterback. My son-in-law was my quarterback in high school.
Oh, get out of here.
Yeah, I was the coach. So.
Oh, I was going to say, I was hoping it wasn't like the quarterback when you played.
No.
Are you trying to be like me?
I was the center, okay? Ain't nobody going to touch my nuts and then my daughter. It ain't happening. No, well, the kid didn't want to play football. He was thinking about not playing football, and he wanted to go play peewee ball somewhere else. So I said to my daughter, "You know this guy?" And she's like, "Yeah." I said, "Go get him. Go get him. Show him what a high school girl thinks of a high school boy that plays peewee football." So he came out and was my quarterback, and they've been together ever since.
That's awesome. That's a great story. And she's a sweetheart. I love her to death. Oh, she's a wonderful girl. Absolutely
It's crazy
wonderful.
because she got that from my ex. She is like a businesswoman, man.
Yeah, I remember
humble.
walking into a Planet Fitness and she was behind the counter and I'm like, Chelsea? And she goes, Ray? I'm like, what the hell are you doing here? She's like, I'm the manager. I'm like, get the hell out of here.
She's so funny too. She loves she's a very liberal young lady, but when she's a boss, she just pretends to be me.
Yeah, well,
she's like, I'll just be dad right now.
Yeah, well, that's when the liberal goes out the window.
Yeah, boom, out the window.
Yeah,
sorry.
exactly.
Yeah, you want to do what?
When you want to get shit done, that goes right out the window. Like, as fast as it possibly can. So let me tell you, did you get a hold of Gino? Is he going to come back on?
Yeah, I'll tag him
I see
right
he's
now.
still in
While
the
I'm
studio,
doing
but,
that,
his
I
video's
just
not
want to let everybody know that we were having it on Tuesdays, the open mic.
Yeah, we're moving it to Thursday.
We're moving it to Thursday. We started really accumulating people at the end there. So
nice.
The Tuesday. So I just want to let everybody know it's a 6:30 sign up, 7:00 show. I'm going to probably try to go to 8:30.
That's fine.
Yeah,
and we're right
then
here,
we go to
and that's
8:30.
up in our upstairs venue here at the Landis. It's called 830 East,
830
which is literally on the other side of this wall here, behind the Michael Kelly Guitar Lounge over here. But so if you're an aspiring comic, if you have any comedy in you, you come out. Jimmy has it's basically a comedy open mic, but you learn, and you're helping them, and you're teaching
I
them.
coach along with it.
Yeah.
You know, I'm at my my end of my career, I'd say. I'm not done.
Yeah.
But I really want to stay local. I have a lot of grandkids now. I'm getting my 14th grandchild.
Yeah, because you toured, man. I mean, you were all over.
Yeah.
Man.
I mean, I still once a month I'll travel. I did Miami on Veterans
Yeah,
Day.
yes, you still got to do Florida. Florida is big for
Florida
comedians.
I'm just afraid of Florida because I know that I got like a 6-week run down there that I have, and it's harder to come back.
Yeah.
Oh, I know. I can understand
And
that.
now
I
that
can
I'm,
understand.
I'm like 200 pounds opposed to 400. It was easier when I was 400. I was like a melted candle out there.
Well, it's true. Now, let's talk about that real quick. So you started your career. You were a big guy. You were the round boy.
The round boy of comedy.
Yeah,
I was 396 pounds.
You were part. Remember, you did that. What was that one? The short bus tour. You were
It
like
was the short bus tour.
You were the
bus
fat
driver,
guy.
Yeah. I had all these guys with actual physical disabilities. You know,
and yours was eating.
And mine was diabetes.
I was just the bus.
Leave me alone. I got neuropathy. I can't feel my feet. Shut up. That's worse than you. Yeah, you can't feel your feet. You're a big deal.
Yeah, this guy's got.
You had surgery. Man, I got a pill.
But I remember that. I mean, that was a while
boy,
ago.
man.
Yeah.
But I could move. I mean, I actually.
Especially if there was a sandwich within vicinity.
Oh, hell yeah. But I had a cop my size in Pittman, and that's what I would just walk around with a ham and cheese sandwich in my pocket. And if you ever came after me, I'm like, I can win one race if I do this. And I would throw the sandwich and then go.
Distraction device.
It's mustard.
That's funny. But no, man. So you've been around you did some HBO stuff. You've done a lot of
Yeah,
stuff.
man.
In your career,
I'm thinking of writing memoirs, and called Swing and a Miss, because I've really had, but it's okay, man. I think back now. I recently had I got diagnosed with a couple strokes. Didn't know what was going on. I couldn't see for a while, and I was having episodes where I would things would just get out of focus and I couldn't see. I had stuff done, and they're like, "Oh yeah, a couple strokes." And I'm like, "What?"
So you had different strokes.
Yeah, different strokes.
Different strokes for different folks.
So the thing is, my face is paralyzed, but it's on both sides, so you really can't tell. It just looks like I'm
looks great
moving, but my lips aren't. Yeah, no, I'm only kidding. But yeah, I ate them for breakfast, man. I didn't even know it.
Yeah.
And then the doc's like, "Yeah, the other thing we got to talk about is you got a lot of white matter up there." And I'm like, "What?" And he goes, "Yeah." I'm like, "In my brain, I have white matter?" And he's like, "Yeah." I said, "No shit. I put that shit up there in the 80s.
It's still there.
It's still there, man. Can we get some of it out there? That's some vintage ale right there, man. I paid good money for that."
Damn straight.
And I'm like, "Nah, come on. It's cool, At my age, man, everybody, we get kinds of diagnoses. And you're like, "Oh, it could have been my heart, could have been my lungs. Could be my pancreas. It's not. It's my brain.
Yes.
Big fucking deal."
I see your,
you know what I mean?
your headliners on here.
One thing that I know for sure is that we've learned at this administration that you don't need a brain.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. Well,
but we got through 4 years of it with Biden. So
yeah,
I'll be
dude,
okay.
yeah, that was the most brainless thing.
All right. I think Gino's on.
He is. I
Let's
see him
bring
on
Gino
here.
on.
Oh, good, man.
Let's bring him on.
Yo, dude.
Are you there?
Hey, look, we're all wearing our Phillies hat. This is awesome. How great is this?
And they're winning 3-0 right now in Tampa Bay. So
I hope you don't take. I was listening to you. I had the game on mute. I was enjoying everything.
Guess what?
Oh, sometimes I'll put it on the TV behind me when I'm streaming, and then YouTube will ban us because I won't say what YouTube is because I'm on YouTube. But they're jerks, not like you. You're fantastic. Sorry, I was talking to my whiskey. How are you guys?
We're doing all right.
Wonderful.
How are you, brother?
As my father used to say, Angelo Visconti of Visconti Farms right there in Rosenhain, if I was doing any better, I couldn't stand it. That's what he would say. As I get older, I love that phrase. And my God, Jimmy, this is the first time I've seen Jimmy in years. You look great, buddy. I didn't know you had a stroke.
You look good.
Yeah.
I had a couple of them. It's all right, man.
When did you have a stroke?
I just got diagnosed. I had to go to.
You don't get diagnosed with a stroke.
I didn't know what happened. I was walking around goofy, and
three
with the
listeners
years,
just had a stroke trying to decipher what you just told me, Doc.
I had to go to Philly to Jefferson on Eagles Parade Day.
Oh,
that'd be a fun trip.
Oh, sucked.
I was there for a different
You
reason.
probably got hit by a can of fucking beer. You didn't have a stroke.
Jimmy's
the one that hit Howie.
that has a stroke and he's stuck behind a parade float.
Yeah.
Come on.
Gino. God, we got some stories. We go back.
We go way back, man.
You go back to the Round Boy days with him when he was about 300 pounds heavier, 400, maybe 500 pounds heavier.
I go back to the Round Boy days when there was a thing, you're not going to believe this, called radio. And there was a guy called Howard Stern who used to be cool before he was a sellout, and he couldn't, I don't want to say S the D of the left enough, but he does.
No, we know that.
Yeah. I mean, and none of us would be here without what he did, but whatever, we're not getting into that. But we used to be really tight with the Reverend Bob Levy, and Bob Levy did stuff up here at Caroline's, and what was the show called? The Murderers of Comedy?
Murderers Row.
Yep.
Murder, and here's what it was. Yeah, it was it was Bob, Jimmy, and I would host. Bob and Jimmy would come up, and then 9 guys from the Howard Stern show would go up there and literally murder comedy because they were. And it would just be, and Bob be like, Gino will host, it'll be fine. We'll bring Jimmy up in the middle to just keep him paying attention, and then I'll go up. What about all the other people? I owe him money. I got to put him on the show.
That's funny because, you know what? It's funny because you're right, man. I mean, Howard Stern broke ground back in the day, and then he took a left turn, and he never went, he fell off the side of a bridge. But back then, a lot of those comedians used to, and they weren't even comedians.
Nah,
like the guys on the
Pack.
show, they were fucking horrible.
Yeah.
Even Jackie the Joke Man, I never found him funny. I went to see him one time in New York, And I'm like, he's just telling. It's like a joke book. It's like he
Yeah,
opened
well,
up a
that's
Polish
Jackie,
joke
though.
book, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah, I can explain it. And Jimmy said it perfectly. That's Jackie. And I got your back with that. Like, I worked with Jackie, and again, just me rubbing your noses in my success at a bar in Jimmy Everton. So a bar in Gloucester, New Jersey. I'll never forget. And I thought like you did about Jackie. I'm like, I used to always watch him. Like, he just tells jokes, right? But I get to this, and they ask me, how much do you want to open for Jackie? And I'm like, well, I give them a number. I think it was like 1,000 way back when. And they go, okay. And I'm like, fuck. Can I say that? I'm like, oh yeah, you said it earlier. I'm like, fuck, because they said it so quickly. I'm like, it's like, right. So I show up and I'm ready to give Jackie attitude. And I go, I go, how much time you want me to do? And Jackie, this is the moment I fell in love with the guy. He goes, look at this fucking place. He's like, do whatever you want. Bring me up. You can leave or hang out and watch me sell the shit on that table when it's done. And a guy that, like, he's the opposite of Stuttering John. He knows who he is. And then you watch him on, and you might have had a different experience, but I watched him on stage, and he tells jokes, but you realize he's so good at telling jokes.
Good. He was good. No,
I feel like he was railroaded by all his friends. Like, you got to get on. And so he gets on stage, and I'm laughing harder than anyone. And a year later, like, I'll say this, and I don't mean to make it about Stuttering John, but he's so unfunny. I met him countless times.
All
like,
unfunny.
But a year later, I'm doing the Artie podcast. Jackie shows up, and I go, "Hi, I'm Gino," and he just goes, "That shit gig in Gloucester," and I'm like this guy, and you guys know, you're in the biz, entertainment, Jimmy. You know, that's a comedian. That's a comedian who just eats shit with you one time. He's like, this guy. This is my guy, so I love him,
Yeah.
No,
Man.
I just wasn't expecting just jokes.
But that's
right.
I was expecting some banter, some stuff. It was just straight up jokes, man.
Yeah, he was a different kind of sniper, where Artie came in and he became.
I liked Artie.
For that show.
Artie's fun.
Yeah, and Jimmy Norton, same deal. He was a good sniper. Gino's got his own stuff going on. He's done projects for NFL films. We did.
Oh, nice.
We did a couple of them. That was hysterical because I came in, I did it, and I had no idea Gino was doing it. And I come in, I do my thing, and then they show me his, and I'm like, son of a bitch. Ugh. Why did I even do this?
No, what were you doing? Like just voiceover work, or
it was? Yeah, they did. Remember that, Gino?
It was like a talking head show. It was the NFL Top 10.
Okay.
And oh, dude, I'll never forget. Like the second time I did it, like they just bring you in, they put you in a hotel room for an hour, they go over all the topics, and then they just splice them in. And I'll never forget. I'm like, oh, I'm in good shape. I'll look good. I wore this blue shirt, and if you Google Gino Bisconti images, it comes up immediately. I don't even look like me, and it's the first picture. It's like. And it wasn't just one episode. It's spliced into 10 episodes.
No.
It looks like I'm in anaphylactic shock. It's hilarious.
Well, hey, look, if you Google Jimmy Graham, you see his headshot from 1960.
That's good stuff.
My very first one was black and white, and the guy, I had a big bulb out the back of my head, fat, and he looks at me and goes, I can fix that for you. And I'm like, on the picture or right here? You got alcohol?
I got to tell you, Jimmy, I got to tell you, Jimmy, I've known you for a long time, man, and you look great. You look
Thank
great.
you, buddy.
Maybe what you needed was a couple strokes, man.
But
I don't know.
that and Fortescue. I live in Fortescue now, buddy.
Where the hell
is bragging?
Fortescue? It's an island.
Yes.
100 people. Yeah, there was 98, and I moved in.
No, you put him at the century mark.
That's right.
Holy
they came
shit.
and gave me a thing. It's actually such a cool little town. It's in Cumberland County.
That's where we are here.
It's right on the bay, but it is another world.
I've heard of it, but I never knew where the hell it was.
I grew up in Gloucester County. They call me Yankee.
Yeah.
I asked them if they heard about the price of eggs. They're like, you buy eggs? What the hell's wrong with you?
You can afford them again.
Yeah,
Yes.
Gino and I, we had this show when we first started. Well, he had done it a little longer than me, and we got this gig with a buddy of ours, Gemini, who is a magician, and we went down to Ocean City, and we got put into this hotel room that was landlocked.
Like they put an addition on the hotel, and they actually so there was no windows, there was no air conditioning, there was no TV, but there was 4 comics.
Yeah.
And we literally would go every single night to the boardwalk, and there was a bunch of very heavy set Irish girls, and we would flirt with them and give them shots of whiskey, and they would give us all the leftover pizza. And then we would go to the guy at the front desk and say, "Pizza, buddy, got any empty rooms tonight?" Like, yeah, but you can't sleep on the bed. I woke up one time in the middle of the floor. It was 40 degrees because we didn't have air conditioning. We were going to make up for it. And it took an hour and a half to tangle that little son bitch out of my back hair. It was all curled up. Like, get him off of me.
Story.
It was. That was fun, man.
Well, I love like what you're doing here, what you do. So, Gino, I don't know if you know, but every week here, Jimmy does a comedy class. He brings some great guys up. The last time you had what did you call it?
It's the fledgling show.
Fledgling show.
The fledgling.
It's his roost, and then he has a fledgling.
Yeah, do the whole egg thing, Gino. That's why you're the perfect person.
There's like a theme to it. I got you, buddy.
Yeah, it's and I felt bad because the first open mic I had, I thought there was a kid that came in and he was really good and I liked him, and he didn't have a really good set. And at the end of the whole thing, there was like 18 comics, and I walked up and I said, you didn't have a good set. You look upset. It's okay. Come back next week, and I want to buy you breakfast. And I handed him an egg. The fucker never came back. I felt so bad. I'm like, I was looking the obituaries.
Yeah, but some of these guys that have come in,
they're doing
some of them
very
have
well.
never done comedy ever. They just thought, hey, I could try and do this.
Right. Maryland.
I
was going to say.
Yeah, I never watched any of it. We were always, if we didn't have a show downstairs, because we have the Landis next door. If we didn't have a show, we were doing our podcast or something like that. So I never had a chance. But I went to the Roost or whatever you had.
That was a showcase.
The showcase, and meant some of those guys were fucking hilarious.
They really
and to
were.
find out that they weren't even coming. The one guy told me, he goes, I never really did any comedy until I got here. And
I just trimmed it.
The one tall guy that was it. I don't know. If
that's.
He's funny, man.
Well, I'm bringing. I'm actually Gino. Has a room in over in Pennsylvania that I'm doing for him later this month, and I'm bringing Steve Kane, who is.
our boy over in Scranton Dooley's. That's a fun bar gig. It is.
Oh, I did. What did? God, you've had that room 15 years?
Dude, I've known that guy going on 15 years or something. Just a fun little bar that it's a nice little escape, to put it in South Jersey terms.
Escape. If you have the right place, and because we tried it up here, actually, Bob Levy, Bob had a comedy thing here for probably about 4 or 5 months, and he tried to get it going. It's just a tough town for comedy every week.
It is.
Him and Kevin Brennan. I told him, I told him like that's not going to work as a weekly show.
Yeah.
And I like I've been there. I love the people there, but it's just not what they want every week. Like I used to do a show over at the Savoy every year with my friend Angela.
Yep.
Just because that was perfect. But that's why I'm like, they haven't done it anymore. I'm like, let me reach out to Jimmy, see if he's booking anything.
Yeah, once a year, once every 6 months, something like that is great because you can pull in the comedy.
Exactly. Exactly. And by building up the open mic, and giving these guys an opportunity, I'll put like one of them on a show.
Yeah.
And then they'll help promote it, and they do it. And actually, I book shows, and I brought that whole crew with me. Not the whole crew. But 4.
Well,
of them,
real quick, let's for the people that are watching now and the people that watch, until
we haven't even talked about it.
Let's talk about the date here. Let's put it up here. So it's May 10th.
Woo, look at that horrible job I did. Look at it. I don't even think I did. Did you redo that for me?
I did not touch that.
Somebody did.
I
didn't make that.
I would have burned that if I saw it. So.
Honestly, I thought it would. I didn't do as good a job.
No, I'm teasing
as that
you.
one. No,
I'm teasing.
This is good, but it's this Saturday, May 10th.
Yes.
7 p.m. 6 o'clock. Doors are going to open, right?
Yes.
And
you go till 9.
What is that? What are you pointing at?
He's hiding behind it.
The reverse Vanna White.
Yes.
Yes, $20. You get there's a link. Just go to Jimmy Graham's Comedy Roost on Facebook, or Jimmy Graham, or around with Jimmy Graham, or Gino Bisconti, any of those, and you see the link there.
Landis Avenue, right off Delsey Drive. You know why it's called Delsey Drive, gentlemen?
No, why?
Never knew this because it goes from Atlantic. It goes from PA to Atlantic City, or it goes from the Delaware River to the ocean, the sea.
You know what? I actually did know that. I just forgot.
Come on, if
I
you're a
literally
Jersey
knew
guy.
that. Literally knew that, and I forgot.
We knew. We were just.
I might have just got one of Jimmy's strokes. I heard they're contagious. I gotta go check that. See if I'm diagnosed with one.
Jimmy strokes are famous up here in New York. That's how he got a lot of work. I'm thinking of something else. Never mind.
Different strokes.
Ouch.
Different strokes for different folks.
Hey,
baby.
man, listen. All I know is that I don't have the filter I have is completely fucking gone now. So
Good.
Today I was driving around. I got a convertible, and I have my grandson, a giant fucking dog. I don't even know what it is. It's all white. It's my daughter's dog, and I got my girl next to me, and we're driving, and I do it like a U-turn into the Chick-fil-A as I came around, and it only had to go out, and I'm like, no, I'm turning around, and it was an arrow, so I'm going the right way, and this guy points, and I go, what? I'm going the right way, man. I got an arrow, and he goes, no, your dog, really cute. I'm like, oh well. Ah!
You're losing it in your old age.
You're wrong.
Wow, man. What's up?
How's it going, gentlemen? Oh,
how are you, man?
Too long, my friends. Too long. How you guys doing?
It's been too. Where are you at? I'm getting a little bit of lag on your video.
Oh man, I am back home in Canada right now. This is an international call, so I apologize for the lag.
Usually they're the best calls, man. They're literally the best calls. We had the gentleman from Nazareth on from Ireland one time, and I'm like, this is the cleanest fucking call we've ever had. Guys call us from New York, and we can't hear a word they're saying, but a guy calls us from Ireland, and we get like the best signal ever. It's amazing. Welcome.
Yeah, we ate the Irish, but after watching that old promo you got, it looks like I took all the hair off my head and put it on my face.
Yeah, what happened, man?
We're getting old, buddy. I'm getting old. This is happening.
It is, man. It's so good to have you guys back. You have no idea, man. Being a veteran myself, man, I'm excited to have you guys so close to Veterans Day.
Well, I'm sorry to try. Can I be one of the first in the group to thank you for your service? Even though we are in Canada, we tell the guys all the time, and I tell the family we benefit strongly from being your partner on that border. So we thank you for everything you do and all of your service. So thank you so much.
That's what I say. Don't piss us off.
Hey, I mean, there's a joke somewhere about the Canadian Navy, and I'll send them down to you. It's one guy in a canoe with a buckshot. All right, so.
Look, man, if anything ever happens, we got your back at least.
Oh, buddy, as soon as anything goes on, first call is Steven. Hey, buddy.
Bring it on down, baby. Bring it on down. Bring it on down. Landisville.
I hear you guys got some new upgrades over at that theater since I've been there.
Oh man, we got a huge 4K screen. We got screens above you. We've got screens on the walls. It has become it has basically become the mini sphere.
The mini sphere. Who would have thought that it's in Landis? Just got to jump up that northeastern seaboard, baby.
Yeah,
I'll tell you, man. I'll tell you, it's we have grown. We got a whole new soundboard, new sound system. We got a lot of new stuff, man, and it sounds phenomenal here, better than it ever has before. But I got to tell you, it's funny because like I said, I was talking earlier. You know, I just signed a contract today with a very, very prestigious gentleman. Speaking again, there I am I was on a Zoom call with him, you know, in Israel, you know, back and forth. And I'm like, what a beautiful connection we have, you know?
Yeah.
But as soon as you started talking about a prestigious gentleman, I was like, guys, I'm right here. Come on.
But no, it's funny because the Landis name has kind of hit the West Coast a lot. And this is a big thing that happens on the West Coast since 1997. And they're bringing it to the East Coast. And they're not bringing it to New York. They're not bringing it to Philadelphia. They're bringing it literally to the Landis Theater in Southern New Jersey.
As they should.
Yeah, because they've heard so much about the theater. And
I like to think that Bayou County came through town and they said, you know what, we need this upgrade if we're going to have such a good band, right?
Dude, we still today talk about how good your band is, man.
Yes,
we really
appreciate that very much. You know what? And it's just gotten stronger over the years. The confidence is built on that stage amongst the group. Just getting that much more time and that much more. I guess to repeat myself, stage time. It's just you guys are in for a treat for sure. You're absolutely in for a treat this year. We got some new stuff coming your way as well.
We're excited, man. We want to really kind of push the hell out of this show and really get some ticket sale, especially, you know, hopefully, you know, the election goes, you know, the right way this year and we can have a lot of patriotism and people excited to maybe spend some money and buy a ticket this weekend instead of trying to figure out where to hide that fucking money, you know?
Hey, we got an election happening in February, but I'm telling you right now, nobody gives a damn about that. We're just focused on yours tonight, and we're doing this interview, and I'm sitting here just thinking to myself, like, I don't want to open up the news right now because I don't want to read anything bad.
Yeah. Well, you know what? You're gonna. It depends where you read it. You're gonna read it bad, and we know. You know, there's a very odd view with some of the people in Canada. You know, Trudeau's not the greatest person in the world there. And a lot of things, you know, I have a lot of Canadian friends. So it's one of those things where, you know, we're all on the same page, man. We want to enjoy our lives. We want to, you know, feel safe in our lives. We want to be able to live free. You know what I mean? Not worry about, you know, where, you know, if we're going to be able to afford groceries. You ready for this, man? I showed it to Steve today. I went to order lunch. Okay. This is no bullshit. Chick-fil-A. What the hell they call that thing?
The wrap.
It's a chicken wrap.
Yeah.
A soda and a side of macaroni and cheese. Guess how much that was going to cost me?
Well, don't make me guess that. Because even so, you're going to say it's expensive. I'm going to tell you it's still 1.5 times the cost in Canada.
Yeah, in Canada, that's
absolutely.
Why.
Yeah.
But they wanted $27.
Oh, yeah, that's just because they must hate you, man. I don't know. They must have your number saved.
It was literally it was a delivery app, man. I was blown away. And then I said, I brought it back up to show Steve. I ordered it again. I said, look, there it is. $27 for a chicken wrap, a drink, and some fucking macaroni, man. I'm like, it's unbelievable. It's
so what I'm learning is that on show night when we all eat together at 6 o'clock after sound check, we're not getting Chick-fil-A. That's not on the table. Is that what I'm understanding?
My friend, I hope you guys like rice with salt and a lot of little pepper in there if you want. I might have a couple other spices you can put in there.
Buddy, you just put maple syrup on anything and we'll eat it. It's all good.
This is true, man. Don't you put maple syrup on pizza?
Man, you guys put hot honey on pizza. Ain't no different.
I don't put hot honey on
nothing. That is a thing.
Hey, you know what though? Cool little fact. We're all from the Windsor, Ontario area, just south of Detroit. Cool little fact for you is Hawaiian pizza was actually invented in Windsor, Ontario, Canada.
I like Hawaiian pizza, man. There we go.
So you're either gonna love us or you're gonna hate us, but we're putting pineapple on our damn pizza on Saturday night, okay?
I like a Hawaiian pizza. I really do. I think the flavors go good together.
I like it.
Yeah, I think some people just like to be a dickhead. Oh, I hate that. Just to hate it. And I'm like,
you put that on a pizza?
Yeah, then they take a bite and all of a sudden they're like, oh, well, that's not so bad.
Yeah.
I mean, we got two options. I was planning on bringing you guys a gift. It was either going to be a pineapple pizza, but that won't last that long of a trip down to New Jersey. So we got a couple nice vintage cans of maple syrup coming down for you guys. All right.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, yeah. Have you guys had maple syrup from Michigan? It's the same thing.
We've had motor oil from Michigan.
Yeah, as long as you're not drinking the water, you're fine, right?
Exactly, especially in Michigan. Good Lord, man. Detroit, the water is brown. It is literally, they use it for motor oil, I believe. Dude, where are you? It looks like you're in a fucking bait shop.
I'm at my 9 to 5 workplace right now. I actually I'm working with the boss late this evening because he's trying to put together a St. Patrick's Day band. Oh. And when the boss asks you to do something, you can say no or you can say yes. And